I'm the executive director of the Lakeland Downtown Development.
And you don't get paid by the government or anything?
I do get paid by the government.
Okay, so you're a government employee?
Yes.
Oh, I think it's untrue that I can't stop.
We can step over here.
No, I'm going to continue my interviews.
Okay. Well, then I'll just disrupt you.
You're going to disrupt me?
Yeah.
You said that you would disrupt me today, having conversations with a black woman about important issues.
Go down this way.
Why?
Go in the middle of the street right there and talk to people. Please.
I can be on the sidewalk.
He's threatening you.
Why are you holding up a picture of a gun at me?
I don't really feel like hating people and using hate to get attention is something that I like.
What is hateful on here?
Literally everything you do.
You guys are saying kind of disrespectful things about deportation and saying some hateful statements.
Okay.
So at this point now they do want to have you trespass from the property. If you do come back and they do call us back because you guys are trespassing, you could face jail time for that.
She worked for the city.
Yeah, she works for the city. So a city employee who is get paid by taxpayer dollars that I contribute to is wanting to trespass me from a farmer's market for my political opinion. What you guys are about to see is what happened to me when I went to the downtown Lakeland Farmers Market this past weekend to do a little man on the street type interview. Believe it or not, the Lakeland police actually told me to leave and threatened me with arrest if I didn't, because the city workers who run the farmers market didn't like that I have conservative opinions and they knew who I was. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be alerted for when we upload the rest of the actual content from our trip to the farmers market. But for now, we're gonna play what exactly led up to the interaction with the police. So enjoy. Before we get to today's footage, let's rewind to the last time I filmed at a farmer's market 2 months ago. A city employee who recognized me tried to wield their power to get me kicked out, but was unsuccessful at doing so. And a police officer later said it's within my rights to film here.
You have to move. You didn't pay to be able to promote your interviews in our street, so you have to move 2 seconds.
Yeah.
For the city of Lakeland.
Yeah, if you could give me the city code or something, then yeah.
The code?
Yeah.
Okay,
if you
I
could
can
show
call my directors and I can call the police.
Yeah, if you could get me like
officer
proof for that. Yeah. So we actually ask people who consent to be interviewed and we go back on the side. We never do it in the middle.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we don't want to obstruct traffic because that's not not kind. That's
Right. Thank you very much. We appreciate your help.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it. Y'all have a good
Anything
day.
else?
I'm just
Totally
personal
approachable.
curiosity. What are y'all interviewing for?
So I have a YouTube channel. We just come out here because there's tons of people. Easy content.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about Trump today, like usual. So
I recognize you. I think I might have seen some of your stuff.
And then a few weeks ago when I went undercover at a protest, you may recall that Democrats there said I'm banned from the farmers market, which was not true. No way. Who?
Mainly conservative media like KAITLIN Bennett.
No, you are not.
She comes to the what's it called? The Saturday flea market.
No, she doesn't.
She does.
I go there
from what
all
I've
the
heard.
time.
The staff of that flea market, they're banning her. They banned her.
They banned her from the flea market?
Yeah, but she still comes.
This was a very curious claim considering what happened this weekend when I returned to the farmers market for the first time since March, and makes me wonder how coordinated this was. It all started here. This is Julie Townsend. She's the executive director of the Lakeland Downtown Development Authority and a registered Democrat with a power complex who is notorious around town for using taxpayer dollars to install facial recognition cameras in Lakeland to spy on people who she puts on a watch list. As soon as I arrived, she somehow promptly found me walking down the street to let me know my presence wasn't welcome at her farmer's market and that she was going to follow me around and disrupt my interviews.
So if you could just
I've never spoken to you before.
Okay, then someone that looks very much like you that also does this, if you would just
Have you spoken to me before?
No, I have not
Okay.
spoken to you.
Yeah. So the only time someone, I don't even see a name badge. It just says Downtown Lakeland on your hat. I don't even know who you are.
I'm the executive director of the Lakeland Downtown Development Authority.
Okay, cool. So I've never spoken to you. I've spoken to one of your, I guess, city employees that tried to tell me that I had to leave, and you guys spread around to other people that I was banned from here. So,
No.
yeah.
Oh, so you think because you say something, I'm supposed to believe it, but you don't believe what I say, just because I say it?
Oh, I think it's untrue that I can't stop.
We can step over here.
No, I'm going to continue my interviews.
Okay. Well, then I'll just disrupt you.
You're going to disrupt me?
Yeah.
Julie's aggression towards me started to make a little more sense when I learned she's also the wife of a disgraced former Florida school board member Billy Townsend, a radical liberal who has written extensively about a civil war with MAGA and has made a ton of bizarre statements on Substack calling for MAGA freaks to be rejected from society, such as the following. I don't want MAGA freaks to have any kind of power over me or anyone else. They pollute public life with their behavior, and I have learned that they shrink like the mob-joining cowards they are when confronted with relentless moral aggression. I have learned that when you take the moral fight to them, they duck the fight. We have largely purged Trump/MAGA from our civic life in Lakeland. This next quote makes Julie's targeted behavior towards me really interesting. Just half a year ago, her husband wrote online, quote, "The best we libs can do for now is limit our direct public exposure to the personal consequences of MAGA weakness, protect each other, and rub MAGA uselessness in people's faces when it serves to reduce their power. We also need to start using our enormous, largely untapped social and economic private power as relatives, friends, employees, citizens, as ruthlessly and transactionally as MAGAs use their vote." But he doesn't stop there. He goes on, "In the end, I treat MAGAs the way they treat other people. So I would urge all libs to stop providing the social, emotional, economic safety net for any MAGA in your life. This is hard, I know. We libs are conditioned to take on thankless responsibilities MAGA creates. We have to stop. It's not just okay to be selfish with the MAGAs in our lives. It is imperative." Seems a little fishy that then Julie Townsend is treating a known Trump supporter exactly the way her husband advises liberals to. Don't you think? Let's keep rolling the tape. You're gonna disrupt me?
Yeah.
The executive director of the Lakeland Downtown Farmers Market is gonna disrupt my interviews?
I'd like for you to move to the sidewalk. That's all I'm asking, so that you're not blocking people who are walking with strollers.
Do you say that to everybody who comes here and blocks like groups of people?
I do, actually.
Are you a city employee?
I'm not. I'm the executive director of the Lakeland Downtown Development.
And you don't get paid by the government or anything?
I do get paid by the government.
Okay, so you're a government employee?
Yes.
Okay, that was my question. Good to know. I don't want to be harassed and followed by a city and government employee, so please do not follow me, and I'm done engaging with you, so don't follow me. So she's trailing behind. Watch what she does next. This white Democrat had the nerve to tell these two polite black women to shut up and stop talking to me, and they weren't having any of it.
They still have their superiority.
His ability to conduct business because he's trying to conduct.
This is Julie Townsend. She's the executive director, and she says she's going to follow me and disrupt me from talking to people freely. Okay, we'll move over here because I'm talking to a woman that's trying to tell me about the harm that white people have caused this country.
Is why this last answer is yes.
Because of her?
Yes. Stuff like that.
Yeah, the last question is white people harm America. She's using you as an example for
because
that.
he's trying to conduct business, and you stop people.
You said that you would disrupt me today, having conversations with a black woman about important issues.
People can walk past, and when we move, they can come back.
Or
he's not directly
a simple excuse me would suffice. If you wanted to walk through here, if you said excuse me, I would step back. Otherwise, I'm not moving. But anyways, thank you. Here's your pen back.
I appreciate. Sorry for your experience here.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, we've dealt with stuff like that a very long time, so it has nothing to do with this per se. It's just her being rude and want to be a part of something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I would appreciate if you didn't follow me though. Like for the record,
like harassment or something.
I would say yes. I have asked her to leave me alone.
And considering that I am a minor, you could also be charged with harassment of a minor too, and that will just add to your charges.
Yeah. Please don't follow me.
I'm not following you.
Okay. Yeah. Don't approach me, and I don't want to speak to you anymore. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for standing up for me. I appreciate it. You too. Oh, thank you. I talked to the cops a little later on, who, like every other time I've been to the farmers market, told me that I'm welcome to film and only asked that I step off to the side. So as you can see, I complied with their request for literally all of my interviews.
It's basic. All it is that it's fine for you to do what you're doing.
I know
She's just asking that you guys move off to the side and not block
if the people
the
want to move off to the side, I have no problem moving with them, but I can't force people to like move. But we do generally go off to the side.
Okay.
There's shade there, so I'm not standing in the side.
It's not to make your interview. It's basically.
So is this not a public street right now?
So what happens is that the Lakeland Downtown Authority, every time they have the farmers market, they actually they kind of like reserve the street.
And so they can kick out people?
Yes, they actually have authority to trespass people.
Okay.
They're not wanting to trespass you. All they're asking is kindly to step off to the side.
Fast forward to 11:53 a.m. and I was interrupted by a group of liberals who stopped us along the street to hurl their usual insults at me.
No, I really don't.
Rage when you yourself at a party?
No, I felt very relieved.
Oh wow! You know, I really understand that. It must have
being so full of shit, it had to feel really good to get that out.
It did, yeah.
I mean, like straight down your pants.
Well, the picture, they said I was in a dress, so it's not pants.
Oh, okay, but that makes a difference in the fact that you like yourself.
That's really the.
Well, you can see more of it with the picture that they say is me in the dress, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, but I mean, you just admitted that it was you, so I mean, it's not a.
Yeah, but I didn't wear pants. So you said rage baiting. You're asking if I'm rage baiting people. But do you feel rage?
What you're doing?
A place where you're obviously not wanted to be.
Why would I not be welcome? Why do people not want me
You
here?
had multiple vendors say that you need to stay on the sidewalk. Did you?
That is one man, and actually I've taken pictures with several vendors here today.
Congratulations, that's fantastic.
So I am welcome here because we are in Polk County, and that is a red county. Yeah, so do you think humans should be forced to move out of certain locations? Like, isn't this free movement and no borders and stuff?
Third question right here.
That we told you that we didn't want to talk to you
Then
about?
why are you talking to me?
Because you're talking to us. You're in
Turn around. Just turn around.
Right now, we're doing exactly what is necessary for her to be able to have a platform.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel like hating people and using hate to get attention is something that I like.
What is hateful on here?
Literally everything you do. So I'm gonna walk away.
Okay. Well, I would just like
I
examples.
hope you feel better.
Well, I feel great. I don't think men can get pregnant. I don't think Trump is an obvious racist, and no one has given me proof today.
You're entitled to your opinion. That's the great.
I have the right opinion. That's the best part, is that I'm right. Yeah, you're very kind. Are you a feminist?
I am. Thank you so much. And you know what's great is I don't have to owe anybody any sort of kindness, which you don't clearly.
Okay.
So we're on the same page. It's perfect.
How am I not kind?
Oh, how are you not kind? Let's see. You're making inflammatory remarks. You're coming up.
I'm
to people.
asking people
You're
their
in my personal
opinions.
space. You're in my personal bubble.
Uh-huh. So,
you that we don't want to
so
We don't want to talk.
we don't
there's
want the camera
these
on
are
us,
just
so that guy
statements
is
for people to
recording us.
agree or disagree with.
And I disagree with them.
So how are they good? Okay, I don't care. So you disagree that we would have been better off had Kamala won? You disagree with
Why
that?
are you still talking to me?
It's for content.
So why are you still talking to me?
It's for content.
So why are you still talking to me?
I'm gonna move on to other people
ahead.
though. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You got something in your teeth right there. After letting them throw their tantrum, I continued with my interviews. Despite being hidden off along the side just like I was asked to, those same police officers came and found me an entire half hour later, as I was conveniently situated beneath one of Julie Townsend's spy cameras to let me know that Julie wants me trespassed for my speech. Are we getting in trouble again?
Yes.
You see this Jimmy John's I'm in front of? Well, here it is in the news. Watch this.
This is one of the new cameras put up by the Lakeland Downtown Development Authority. It is recording video and detecting my face right now.
So if we have a photo of a person that we've identified as a person of interest, we can upload that to the system, and then when that person is found on a camera throughout the district, it'll send us an alert.
We are told that alert goes to the LDDA Clean and Safe Manager, Tony Davila, and Lakeland police officers who patrol downtown.
So, I just so happen to be right underneath the spy camera that Julie has access to and can use to notify police about, quote, persons of interest, which I now am one of.
Townsend's response: people should expect to be surveilled in public.
We're hyper-focused on folks who have been identified as causing problems in the district. The rest of you, we have no interest in following you around and looking at what you're doing all day.
And police just so happened to find exactly where I am 30 minutes later. Weird. But here's what happened next when the cops talked to me. Are we getting in trouble again?
Yes.
Why?
So, we've actually seen messages in this WhatsApp group chat that they have. So we're now getting complaints that, yes.
What's that on? What is that going to be on?
This is Liberty Hangout. We're Trump supporters.
Okay,
this is
cool,
friendly
cool, cool.
media.
Yes, thank you.
This
Thank
is
you for
friendly
what you
media.
do.
Thank you.
so much.
Appreciate it. What?
Okay.
Groups in a chats in a WhatsApp?
So they have, Lakeland Downtown Authority, going back to them, right? Everybody here, when they're part of all the vendors and stuff,
Sure.
they have their own group chat where they communicate, okay? So it's coming to our attention now that, again, we're just communicating this, okay?
Sure.
That you guys are saying kind of disrespectful things about deportation and saying some hateful statements.
Okay.
So at this point, now they do want to have you trespass from the property.
For my speech?
for.
I'm not saying anything. These are people.
Okay.
These are actually their customers
So
that
the
are
customers-
engaging in this.
So some of these customers have been going to the downtown set and filing complaints with the authority.
You're making inflammatory remarks. I don't really feel like hating people and using hate to get attention is something that I like. You guys are saying kind of disrespectful things about deportation and saying some hateful statements.
That's fine if they want to complain, but I can say my opinions out on the street, right?
You can say your opinions. However, like we were trying to say before, is that this is to say this in a more understandable way. This is a private event open to the public.
Okay, so I'm the public.
They do have the right, the authority to trespass people if they want to.
Okay, so
they
to be
do have
clear,
the
they're
right.
wanting to trespass me based on my speech.
It's not based on your speech. It's based on the fact that they've asked you already to step off to the side.
And
right?
I've done that. You just witnessed me doing that.
So we have other pictures that show otherwise. We also have messages that show otherwise.
What messages that show otherwise?
That's something that you
can I show them? Because I'm being accused with this proof.
So we can definitely. What I'll do is I'll be able to document.
I want to see it.
Okay, can you let me speak, please?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm going to document everything right into this call note that we have created. Right. So I'm going to take down your guys' information. I'll take down her information. Okay.
Who's her?
The representative of the Lakeland Downtown Authority.
Okay.
Who we spoke about earlier.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll give you that case number, and if you would like to get a copy of all of that, you can actually talk to the LPD records and provide that case number, and then maybe they can contact.
So to be clear, are we being charged with trespassing or asked to leave?
No, you're being trespassed.
We're being charged.
If you come back,
it's not a charge. It's basically
it's a
telling you that
warning.
We're just being asked to leave.
It's
you're
a
no
warning.
longer
Yeah.
to be over here.
Yeah.
So where are the limits that they've reserved?
Farmers market.
Yes.
So you cannot come back to the farmers market as long as they are having them every Saturday, whatever hours it is. It's typically 8 to 2, sometimes 8 to 1. You just cannot come back to the farmers market. If you do come back and they do call us back because you guys are trespassing, you could face jail time for that. So at this point, it's just a warning. You're not actually being charged with misdemeanor.
For what though? Like, what have I done that's wrong?
Basically,
or it doesn't matter. They get to have the
with the rules.
Yes, I did.
You're not complying with the rules.
Yes, I am. You guys came up to me and said that it was because I've been saying things that they don't like.
Because they are hosting the event, so at that point they want to trespass.
So it doesn't matter. Like, they could trespass black people if they wanted to.
They can
Any
trespass
business owner can trespass whoever they want for any
anybody.
reason.
Yeah. So they're like, that person's black. We don't want them here.
Color.
No. It's about speech. But I'm just wanting for an example. I'm just wanting an example. So it's not because of who I am. It's because I'm off to the side. You literally just witnessed that I am following their rules.
So as I was mentioning before, right? I understand you're saying that these customers are engaging with you.
Yeah.
However, there are some customers that don't feel comfortable.
So who's more important?
They do feel like they are being harassed, and they don't. And they are making complaints with the Lakeland Downtown Authority.
Well,
okay, which then
that's not my
give
fault.
the responsibility over to us, and they want you guys trespass or no.
Okay, we'll stay on the sidewalks because we can be on the sidewalks.
Do you guys have your license?
No.
Do you have anything?
No.
Okay.
Well, at this point, you need to leave the event.
Okay, we'll be on the sidewalk
Keeping
then.
the event, no.
So they own the public sidewalk?
If you want to host your event, you have to cross.
Can you show me the policy or the law?
So right now, wherever you see this farmers market at, right?
Yes. There's no vendors on the sidewalk.
Okay. The immediately surrounding sidewalks, they are also have permits for that.
It's just confusing because
It is.
every time we're talking to you guys, event coordinators, the parameters that we're allowed to be in, what we're asked to do.
They've asked us to get on the sidewalk.
It's changing every time.
Every
so
time. Have you
it's
guys-
making it really confusing for us.
Yeah.
We've been here. This is probably the 4th or 5th time.
Okay.
Last time we spoke to an officer, he said we have every right to be here.
Yeah.
They can't kick us off. They said just come to the side. And you guys are okay. So we've come to the side. We've been asked to go to the sidewalk. We've come to the side. So we're every time. I mean, we don't want to bother people. We're being as respectful as we
Yeah,
can.
no, you guys are trying to do your own thing. I get that.
Yeah.
But why would an officer last time say that just come off to the side and we have every right to be here, but now we don't even have a right to be on this public sidewalk? So are you saying that we can't walk down the sidewalk or just as
What I'm gonna
citizens if
recommend-
there was a farmer's market?
what
Could you
I'm-
answer that so
what
we
I'm-
know our parameters?
Here's what I'm going to recommend, okay? Because I understand that there's also
changing for us every
Yeah,
changing.
it's really confusing.
Here's what I'm going to recommend so that everybody's on the same page here. Tomorrow or Monday, whenever the Downtown Authority offices open, speak to them.
Okay.
See if you can get something in writing from them that clearly delineates or clearly outlines where you're allowed to be, not allowed to be, what you're allowed to do, not allowed to do. That way there are no issues. That way you guys don't continue to run into these kind of
Of course.
Okay. At this point, we are going to do the trespass. You guys are just going to have to leave. Okay. But then on Monday, when you speak to them, if they are okay with you coming back to the property, to the farmers market, and doing this, I would also try to get that in writing, because it's her word versus his word. It's so until we can get something definitive, it'll just clear it up for everybody.
Who has the final authority over trespass? Because there were several vendors that were
for
okay
this
with us being
particular
here,
event. So for this particular event, it would be the Lakeland Downtown Authority.
Okay.
Because these vendors, right? They pay the authority to be here, and then the authority has their own rules and regulations as far as the farmers market.
Okay.
So it's like, imagine if you were renting out an entire street for a block party.
Yeah.
And putting the permits for a block party. This is kind of the
But
same
what about the
concept.
sidewalk? Because my question is, if we're trespassed from the sidewalk, then if there's a farmer's market going on, we can't come with our family to even be and go to Jimmy John's, because we can't walk on this sidewalk. There's no way.
How that's like upsetting, and that could be frustrating. That's why
I don't think it includes the sidewalk, because they've asked us to go on the sidewalk.
Okay.
Because they reserve the street, not the sidewalk. So how did they all of a sudden start reserving the sidewalk?
I would think that there's no issue with you being on the sidewalk, right, as long as you're not blocking it, because there is an ordinance.
We know about that.
That states you cannot block a sidewalk if people have to walk around you.
Can I mention something? While this gentleman was walking by, he was with a group that was saying very sexually explicit things about her.
Okay.
So I'm just curious why political discussion isn't allowed, but they're sexually harassing her,
It's
and
not
that's all on video.
Yeah, no, it's not about, again, it's
who complains first.
It's not that your context is an issue. It's about some of the statements that you were making along with the behaviors.
Can you give me proof of that and what has been complained?
Like what specifically?
So as far as we're concerned, is that just some of these customers feel harassed because they feel that you're kind of pulling them from these vendors to speak to them, or that there have been some disrespectful comments made about deportation, things of that nature. Okay, but this is just a warning. What I'm trying to boil down
I'm getting warned for my speech.
It's not for your speech.
But I would like proof that I actually said anything like that.
So what I can do is I can give you the call number for this. I can document that I spoke to you guys, I spoke to them, and that you guys would reach out to the Lakeland Authority on Monday.
Okay.
And that way on Monday, you guys can get it clearly figured out what you're allowed to do, not allowed to do, where you're allowed to be,
And
not
if
allowed
we wanted to file a complaint about some of the individuals here who are harassing us, can we do that as well now or on Monday?
I believe that would have to be through Monday, because if some of those people happen to be
the event
vendors,
organizer, I think her name was Julie.
They spoke to her.
I know, but she was following you after
I
you
know,
said,
and
"Please
so
don't
I
follow."
made that complaint, but she wasn't trespassed for harassing and following me.
So I'm going to give you guys a case number.
Okay,
and
that's
then,
fine.
Well, we can go from there. And that way,
We're not trying to be hard, we're
sorted
just
out.
trying to figure everything out.
I can understand.
I don't think, I really honestly would have a hard time seeing as though we would be trespassed from a public sidewalk.
That's why I said, as far as
But you don't know?
As far as we're concerned, you can be on the sidewalk, but you can't block.
But you told me that I couldn't at first.
Okay, that was at first, because we're dealing with a lot. We're dealing with a lot right now, you know, like, we're all just trying to get this all sorted out.
Okay.
You can be on the sidewalk. Like you said, it's a public sidewalk.
What about one part?
So if I step
You can be in
into
one
the
part,
street,
too.
if I step into the street, you guys are going to arrest me?
It's farmers market.
You're going to arrest me for stepping into the street.
We don't want to get it to that point.
But will you? So I know what to expect from you guys.
So
if I step off the curb, you will arrest me.
There's that possibility of
They
facing
call
jail
again
time.
that you're
That's silly.
disrupting the books.
I'm not disrupting anybody. They just don't like my
that's the
opinions
complaint.
because they're Democrats and they don't like my speech. So they want to exclude me from a space that they do not own. Not one individual person owns this. She works for the government. Is the Downtown Lakeland Authority a government institution?
Well, they have a mayor, so yeah.
So the person who wants to trespass me, that's a government institution, is someone who works for the government.
She worked for the city.
Yeah, she works for the city. So a city employee who is get paid by taxpayer dollars that I contribute to is wanting to trespass me from a farmer's market for my political opinions.
It's the same thing. Like if you let's see, the person just came to the mom part with the drum set. Start playing the drum.
I don't think that's fair to compare me to someone who's being disruptive like that.
The city called that he cannot be like doing that type of noise. He could be trespassed.
Yeah, but you guys
could
came
be
up.
trespassed for any area of the city.
Okay. Right. So the government is trespassing me, and you guys came up and said because of my statements about
I never said
illegal
about the statement.
Yeah. Is it okay if I take a picture with them?
That's gonna be.
Is that okay?
Huh?
Can I take a picture with
So
them?
is this-
Okay, thank
are
you. They've been
they're
waiting
different.
for so long. I followed all commands that you guys asked me to do.
Right.
And I think it's unfair and discriminatory that they're using my speech for a reason why I can't be inside of this when it's the
that's something
government
that you can brought up on
institution.
Monday to the city about it, because you can complain to this. You can make a claim to the city. At that point, they can guide you which place you can use to do, or if you need a permit to do that. So that's something that you can clear out that day on Monday. If they issue you a permit, so they cannot complain because they issue
We
a permit
should
to them.
apply for a booth here. We'll get rejected, but we should apply for a booth.
You have the right.
I think if you want to help us apply for a booth, you go to patreon.com/KAITLIN Bennett. You can donate there so we can get a booth, and we have every right to be here. Maybe we should do that.
That's something they allow you, yeah.
After all this fun, we were on our way out when the vendor from a St. Petersburg restaurant called Jay's Marketplace, who was just so disturbed by my presence that he had to report me, decided to get in my face and threaten me and get really, really weird.
Bye-bye.
Did you complain about me? Did you complain about me?
Yeah, I complain about you.
Why?
All the time. Go down this way.
Why?
Go in the middle of the street right there and talk to people. Please.
I can be on the sidewalk.
He's threatening you.
What are
You said go in the middle of the
threatening
street.
anybody.
Why do you want me in the middle of the street? You approached me to be
Ma'am,
fair. Why did you
slip on
complain?
your panties?
Now he's sexually harassing a woman.
Why are you talking about my panties, sir? So that is the person that the police did his dirty work on behalf. That is very interesting. He's so angry. I don't know if he should be allowed to be a vendor here, considering how he just talked about my panties and wanted me to stand. He was like, get over here, go in the middle of the street.
Trying to push you in the middle of the road?
I don't know, he was very...
Do you fear for your life right now?
I feel a little unsafe. I'll be honest. I do feel unsafe. And why? So look, he's taking pictures of me. There was someone that just said that it's important to have these conversations, and she appreciates me being here. There's actually several vendors here today that love what I do, but why aren't they allowed to have an opinion in the matter? But oh look, they're talking to the wolf guy. So they both made complaints about me. The Wolf Shop, Fiber Art and More. Oh, that's the woman who was talking to the police behind me. Right there in pink, the pink shirt. She was talking to the police behind me. So she came down to complain to the police as well. I'm on a public sidewalk. I'm allowed to be here. We will follow the rules, and we're not trying to push boundaries with the police or anything. But I know that I'm allowed to be on a public sidewalk. I know that. That guy is trying to tell me that I need to go in the middle of the street.
Now he's.
Why are you holding up a picture of a gun at me? What is going
We gotta
on?
go make a police report about this guy.
Yeah, we probably should. And look, he's going over to talk to the wolf shop. I think she's probably on the phone with the police again. After all of this, I did go to the police department and file a report against that man who held up that picture of the gun that was on the magazine. That was super freaky and actually it did worry me a little bit because that's never really happened to me before. But I wanted to point out that I looked at the rules for vendors at the farmers market. And they have a rule for the vendors that says any verbal or physical abuse by a vendor to another vendor or a member of the public is cause for immediate expulsion from the market. And so, Julie, this is a call to action for you to hold that vendor to your standards and to your rules. He should be immediately expelled. He should never set foot back into the farmers market ever again, and that booth should not be allowed to be there next Saturday. And Julie, I am calling on you to step down from your position because you have a history of treating people poorly and abusing your power. I would like to know, and all of my viewers would like to know, are Trump supporters allowed to engage in political discussion about deportation or any other conservative opinion at the farmers market or any other LDDA event? If you go to the Lakeland Farmers Market, or if you're a vendor at the Lakeland Farmers Market, please reach out, send me a message. I would love to talk to you and gather your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will provide you updates along the way with whatever happens with this, so please hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with what we're doing.